morning everyone, hope you're having a lovely day so far. So our next instalment on the meander around my lovely village is going to be I think a little scene from sort of a distant farm kind of thing, like ploughed fields. I have a lot of fields that at a certain time of year are absolutely full of poppies, and they look stunning, but whether or not I can replicate that I don't know. But I'm going to go in with I'm just going to go straight on and let's draw some hillside. I'm just using an aqua trick marker because I probably won't be able to iron this after. So if I just think, I'm just thinking, if I come down there, it's alright, I'm just getting my brain juices sort of flowing. Come across, and then maybe across that way, and just so I kind of do like ploughed fields there. And how am I going to do this? I might come in and do a bit of and maybe a tree after. We'll see. We will see. Possibly stripes that way. I think I'm going to use, right, okay, so in my head I thought I'd use some bits and bobs that I've come across that might look a bit like a ploughed field. Yeah, somehow. And then I thought about using the words again, lined fabric. That would look really cool as a ploughed field. I've got some more with the words on, so that could go up in the distance maybe. Have a look. But I also thought about kind of that as a foreground, and I've got my yarn, variegated yarns, which I quite like the fuzziness of some, and I could use them as the hedgerow laid in between. So that's where my head is thinking, where my thoughts are going. I'm not going to do anything with the sky. Sorry, I think I might take my watch off because it's bothering me and it keeps interfering. So this is a bit of linen that I rust dyed, and if you've not done rust dyeing before, have a go. Honestly, it's great. I might do that. Don't really want to, try not to cut too much. Well, that turned quite nice. So, right, let's get going. I'm going to use that. I will give that a little trim off on the corner there. Bam, bam, bam. Just because I've drawn a bit of a picture, a bit of an idea, doesn't mean it has to stay that way. And I literally think that up there in the corner will look good. at some point. Let's just cut that off. Give it a bit of a hillside curve. I'm just going to trim that bit off. Not bothered about the bottom bit, but because I can add some different, I might put some different fabric in there. Yeah, a different one in there. I'm just going to swap scissors because I feel like I'm struggling. I'm trying not to clank you down. Oh, I've cut that too small. Maybe that anyway, because that's going to be covered in. I think that's probably better. It's a little bit miserable today. Promised it was going to be lovely, and now it's quite murky and miserable. So never mind. I'm going to pull that down a bit, that up a bit. I'll try not to. Let me move that, pull that a bit closer, and then I can put my scissors on there. And I'm going to definitely use a piece of this and come in with it there. Let's have a little look. So I think I said in the beginning about using up how you can incorporate fabrics to make them look like something else completely. So the idea of the ploughed field being the right lines of word, it's kind of in that. Right, where are my pins? Oh my golly gosh, don't know. Oh, where are your pins? Come on. Don't know how they're behind. Let's have a look on the side. Oh, they're there. Oops. You know when you're sort of looking for inspiration, I'm just going to take my watch off because it keeps buzzing on my arm, distracting what I'm doing, and I need to be in the moment. Now it's going to be annoying. So I want something to come in here. I'm just wondering what I've got. Reggie, shush. See if I've got anything that's not. I've got a basket full of. Oh, I can use this again, can't I? Here it comes again. But it is in that good kind of greens that I wanted. So let's have a bit of you. Oh, come out of the way. Oh my goodness me. And just do a little bit of a swish up. Probably not. Give it a little bit less. Sorry if I'm mumbling to myself again. I know. But that's just how I work. I'm sorry, I can't sort of change that. So if I come up there, come down. I know this might look a bit sort of higgledy-piggledy, which it is, it definitely is, but once you get your stitches on, it starts to look better. And I'm not worried about too much about these edges, because I'm definitely going to use some of this to make it look like hedgerow. Okay, let's pin that down and then we'll give it put a few stitches in. I've started using pins again, whereas I used to use a lot of glue stick, but I found I don't know why, but I think the glue stick sort of, I don't know whether they've changed the recipe or what, but it's really claggy, if you don't understand that word. It's an English kind of northern word, claggy, and it's making all my needles sticky and not go through properly. So I've had an epiphany and stopped doing it. So right then, let's have a look what we've got thread wise. There's some silk threads, and I'm going to go with these. I'm sort of going browns on this. If I don't know whether I've mentioned before, and I probably have several times, these are from Paintbox threads, and they're silks and they're beautiful. If you can see, this is one of my favourite colours. I might have to see if she's got just one of that on its own. And I'm just having a look, see. I'm going to go with that lighter brown. I'm going to stitch it. I'm just going to stitch along some running stitches, nothing special, just to get it started. Well, actually, I'll probably do something on that's a little bit fancier, but I'm just coming up here a minute while I won't go over the top. I'm just going to, like I say, just a simple running stitch. Ouch, stuck myself. Just to give it the suggestion that it's a ploughed field. Move you over. And you can do whatever stitches you like, however big, however small. Your booklet might be bigger than mine, your map might be not folded, you know, I'm just sort of giving ideas for where you can interpret them however you like. But in this field here, I am going to do French knots in red for sure. Right, I'm going to get rid of you, and I don't need them to be stacked, the stitches. My ploughed fields are a little bit random. I'm a drunk, you know, my fields are ploughed by a drunken farmer. Can you imagine? Well, actually, I think it's quite easy to imagine. Not that I'm saying the farmers in my village are drunken while they're on a tractor. They're definitely not. It's funny how I feel the need to sort of backtrack slightly, just in case. Let me just move that up to there. Just in case any of the local farmers are watching this video. I don't think for 1 minute they will be. It's a busy day today on this road. I don't know whether there might be some kind of diversion in place that's sending them through here. Just move that a little bit. That might be pinned down now, stitched down, but I'll still hang on. I'll still hang on. I was thinking about what I said about the real-time sort of videoing and editing it and what have you, and I then sort of read a couple of comments, and I thought to myself, well, actually, if people are stitching, you know, listening and stitching, why do I need to cut them any shorter? I probably don't. I think I'm just conscious that I think it's a teacher thing. When, you know, when I was sort of, lessons had to be in 30-minute chunks kind of thing, 20-minute chunks, that I sort of think, oh, I'm waffling on too long. But then I kind of reminded myself that actually people are doing this as a pastime, as a leisure time. They're not worried about. I'm just going to get some green thread. Yeah, they're not worried about what time's passing by. I mean, I know when I'm watching videos on YouTube, it could be any length of time and I wouldn't sort of know. I'm just got them on in the background, even if I'm not directly thinking, you know, it's not not kind of concentrating too much on it. It's just nice in the background company. I know I watch Marion's World. I sometimes don't even know what she's been saying, or because I'm sort of busy. She's in the background and I'm busy sort of doing whatever, you know, stitching along. Right, I'm going to cut that off because I'll end up, if not careful, stitching it over onto there. Right, I'm going to do a different stitch on this because I feel like it's I feel like I want, ooh, that's not nice to thread. I feel like I want a bit more texture, so just going to do now then, I think I'll do a scroll stitch. Let me just have a practice. That is not a scroll stitch, I don't think. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm actually, oh, is it that way up? And I'm going round. Do you know, I can't think. That's a coral stitch. That's a coral stitch. Not that it matters. Right, we're going coral stitch. Don't know. Just having a moment or two. Why can't I think what a scroll stitch is? You see, it's not always planned, and if I haven't done a stitch for a while, it takes me a while to think in my head what I'm doing. Because as I say, I don't plan it. I do sort of plan it, but then it sort of changes as I go. I don't think about what, I honestly don't think about what stitches I'm going to do, because it's not a stitch. I'm not teaching you how to do the various stitches. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of stitchy tutorials out there, and I have got some shorts on how to do them, of course. I'm just going to come down there, but that looks quite sweet. Look, it's give it a bit of a texture, which is good. Just move along. I'm going to come up that way. Oh, let me just put my phone on silent. Sorry, guys. There's some. The problem is I don't think people actually realise that I work for a living. That's why. I think they, you know, because I'm working from home, I don't know what they think I do. So people message. I think when I was teaching, it wasn't like that. People understood. But now I'm working from home, I think it's just you know, it's okay, you can chat to me anytime. Not that I'm complaining, I'm not complaining. I love my friends, and since I've become single, I cherish my friendships far more, and I look, you know, I sort of like to nurture my friendships, because they're the friends that I've chosen and not been inherited or foisted on me by a partner. And most of my friends now all are in the stitching, crafting world, and it is lovely. Oh, oh, oh. I'm just going to pull that down there, and I think I'll probably just get away with. I'm trying not to move off the screen, because I do tend to find myself wandering. I don't like to drag. See, I pulled this thread across the. Don't really like to do that, but I'm gonna anchor that down, so I will sort of pick this thread up. Come on, let's move you along. Just give that a little stitch. Down, wonderful. It's starting to look a little bit like I've imagined it. Okay, okie dokie. I'm going to, might use that just to go in there. Pop that on. Might not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going to go with that. Go in with a darker. Bit of a darker thread. Just one moment, somebody is coming to the door. Where's my... I'll be back in a minute, just bear with me. Okay, I'm back. Honestly, it's always busy. The moment I start to film, it gets busy. Right, let me find some more needles. I've decided, while I was having a little shuffly round, that I found some of this. This is like in this. I love these yarn hanks because they've got so many different kinds of threads in them, and for the price they are, they're, you know, they're really worthwhile. So this one, I was going to go with that one, but I thought that was a bit too thick, and then I saw that and thought I'm going to couch that down along there. So that is what I shall do. In fact, I'm just going to thread a big eyed needle up. I'm hanging on to that and just push it through. I've got that much going on my desk as usual. Push it through just so I can right, let's get you couched down. So couching, if you don't know what that is, it's where you stitch, lay a piece of thread or ribbon or something, bead in, you know, especially in gold work, couching's quite used a lot. Lay it down in position of where you want it, and then you stitch over to hold it down. It's great for metallic threads because then you can have a metallic thread on and it doesn't deteriorate going up and down through your work, or for thick woolly things like chenilles and things like that. And I do a lot of couching when I use these threads, these yarn hanks, which by the way are available in my little online shop. Shameless plug. I think Heather's updated it actually today with some new bits and bobs, so it might be worth it going and have a look. I think the link is down below. I don't have lots and lots of stock. I'm not a haberdashers. Some things I really like and I love to stock them because you know that we spend a long time looking for various things that will meet our kind of A, the aesthetic we like, B, that they're functional and they're not just, although I do just like something pretty, let's face it, we all do, and see that they are usually they're usually made from things that are sort of either 100% cotton, wood, that kind of thing, recyclable things. So I'm just going to stop you because Harvey's just come in and he'll probably be wanting to ask me something, so I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. So as I finish off, I was going to go around the corner, but I'm just going to go back. I've threaded my thick needle up again, big eyed needle up, and come back down, and I'll sort that out on the back. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bit of this off at a good length, save myself scratching around. Just look where I'm coming. Okay. Oops. Hang on to you. I'll leave you threaded up because I'm going to come down and up again. So I'm going to come up in another line. Just looking at Reggie's, he makes me laugh. He lays down with his nose on the windowsill so he can see out what's going on in the world. I'm desperately trying to teach him not to bark at anything, but it's a doggy, isn't it? There we go. I'll stop and I'll be back. Sorry, I carried on talking, forgot to press record and was talking away to myself. So yeah, so I've missed a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Oh dear. I don't even know where I was at, but sorry about the dog barking. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I'm sure. I've tried all sorts of things, but I just have to keep... we have kind of like a plan of Harvey takes him out for a walk and I try and get doing the filming in, but it's not... can't always happen, can it? All best laid plans and all that. That's annoying. That's annoying. Let me just flatten that down and that down. I'd stop that. Yeah, so it doesn't always work that way, of course. But you know. And of course we haven't had Gertrude for a while, but I think that's because I've come downstairs. Having said that, I was trying to work on admin-y things yesterday and she was on the desk here trying to give me cuddles. But I do have to say, Reggie and Gertrude had a big fight. Well, I say he had a big fight. Poor Reggie. He just wants to be a friend. He really wants to be a friend, and she's not having that at any price. And it was early this morning, and he came up. I heard him trotting up the stairs, and he came up the stairs, and he must have encountered Gertrude somewhere. She chased him into the window seat in the bedroom and sort of cornered him right up against the window, and he was like this, and she was spitting and claws out, totally unprovoked. And he ended up doing this really strange growl that was like a cross between a frightened cry and a growl. It was quite sad. So yeah, oh, so he's feeling a little bit sorry for himself, but anyway, he's all right. He's forgotten about it now. Doesn't take much for Reggie to forget. But oh dear, it breaks my heart because I just want them to be cuddles. You know, you see these videos on TikTok and Instagram where the cats and dogs are all getting on. It's not happening in this house. He's got a stick about this long that keeps, well, what I think I said, I've taken the hedge out at the front, and obviously there's bits of this still knocking around. You know, it doesn't seem to want to, no matter how much I sweep and rake, I still end up with lots of stick. Hang on to them. So it keeps bringing a bit in every now and then and chewing it into fine sawdust. Very annoying. So that's what he's got now. Do you want to come on my knee? Where are you? Reggie? Come on then. Come on. Come and say hello. No. Come on. Okay. No, I thought he was coming to say hello, but he's not. Okay, right. So we've couched that down. That's gone a bit all over the place there. I'll just tie that off. Obviously, never look at. I hope somebody doesn't come and look at the back of my work. Well, I say that, I'm not really. Do you know? It's fine. So that looks a little bit like a ploughed field. Yeah. So we're getting there, and this is definitely looking like a ploughed field, but I'm not going. I think I'm going to do. Where's that nice thread? I'm going to do that nice thread. Got to get the use out of this. And now, oh, he's under the table. Where are you? Come on. Where are you? Come on then. Come and sit on Granny's knee. Reggie? No. Okay. So I'm going to sniff him. I'm making a new storage for some threads, and got the drill out. Had to get Harvey to put the drill bit in. It was so small and so tiny, the drill bit that I wanted to use. I couldn't grip it properly, so I ended up having Harvey do that bit for me. And then talk about role reversal. He said to me, now be careful with this, Mum, because this is a very, very fine drill, and if you go through your finger, it'll go through your finger. And I thought, this sounds familiar. But the other way around. So, you know, I'm expecting well, no, I'm not expecting a hospital visit. But it did make me feel a little bit like that. Oh, I'm just going to do some running stitches, but I'm going to take some quite big stitches on the front rather than I'm going to go down each, in between each. I'm having to come right up here so I don't knock you. Come on then. He's fidgeting now. He'll probably get up in a minute. He hasn't said hello for a while, has he? So, yeah. I'm just going to go in between the lines, the written word. Oh, he's found a ball. Have you found your ball? Right, that's what he was mooching around for under the desk. He'll probably be, so that you'll hear him clattering around with that now. But he's better than embarking. He might lose it underneath something and then start yipping for me to get at him. So I can't win really, can I? I'll just take that out. I can't win. As they say, never work with children and animals. When it goes under the sofa and he can't quite get under that one, he'll be woofing, telling me he wants it. I'm just going to read this. Jane wrote us about it, and her boy kept it at the head. Oh, cried Rose. I don't really know what the story is. I don't think I've read this one. What did we say it was? Can we remember? No, can't remember. It's not on there. Can't remember what it was from. Some classic. Oh, it was a Louisa May Alcott one, wasn't it? I can't remember. Was it Little Women? Might have been. Don't know. I don't feel like. I mean, I will say you could do this without the fabric, but I like the texture, and it always adds a bit of more interest if you're using a fabric, and B, if I was to stitch this a blank sheet, a blank space, and just keep putting stitches in, I think it would be here till Christmas, which is, you know, not in the plan. If you think of sort of a Canter inspired piece, this is a bit like that when you do stitching, and don't try and make your stitches all tight. I quite like to give it that ruffled look, that rippled look. It's always nice. And I always think running stitch, good old fashioned, plain old running stitch, really does have its place in embroidery. It really does. It lends itself to so many lovely things, and people really it gets a bit of a bad rap. But that said, with the sort of the advent of the rise of Borrow and Canter and Sashiko, it's having its moment again, which is lovely. Right. Okay, I'm just going to try and get that pin out there. I don't think I need that pin in there, actually. I think it's, yeah, get rid of that. Yeah, stitch that down here. Then we're free, pin free. That is nice to stitch with, I have to say. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some, I'm going to fill this in with some poppies, and I'm going to find a nice thread, which I think that's not going to be any good because it's without going upstairs. Right, this will do. You know, I don't very often use Wonderfill because it's not something we get a lot of in the UK. It's just sort of, you don't see it. It's not on the, you know, you go in the haberdashers, it's not in their shelves, on their shelves. It's usually an online thing, but it is lovely to use, I have to say. The cotton pearl, oh my god, I thread that. I think I might need some new needles getting out. These ones are getting a bit bent because I don't know this, my own strength, obviously. Right, I'm going to do some little French knots in here. In this one, I'm going to cover it in French knots. Well, not cover it, I'm just going to put a few in. I'm going to do 2 wraps, 1 wrap, I think. I'll just have a quick look if that's big enough. Yeah. So just add them randomly to give the idea that it's a poppy field. Because again, you know me and a knot, a French knot, I could go on forever. I've created a leaping hare, sort of as a prototype to something that I might do. Oh, I don't know how I'm trying to get that. And the only thing I've sort of embroidered is the ears, and I literally had a French knot frenzy. It's lots and lots and lots of French knots. I saw one lady, oh, I say lady, it could have been a gentleman. I do apologise for you gentlemen stitchers out there. I'd seen one particular piece that's going to drive me mad, and it was a pin cushion, and it's probably about this big in diameter, like sort of the size of a jar lid, but it was absolutely covered in French knots. Oh my gosh, it was stunning, jam-packed in, not a single hair's breadth between them, and it was just beautiful, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I just thought to myself, I would like to do that. I would like to have that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna carry on doing this. I'm gonna stop the recording for a minute because I'm sure you don't want to watch me making 1,000 French knots. So I'm going to just pause us, and I'll come back when I finish the French knots and moving on to something else. Okay, I'm back. So French knots done. I'm going to put something up here, and I did think, I was looking and I thought, ooh, and I might have used this before on something else, but I can't remember. There, it's got like a little, and I thought I might just give that a bit of a go on there, but then I just thought, I don't know whether I want that thing. So change of plan, and where is the dark thread? Doesn't matter that it's brown, or I'm going to put a few little birds in, little tiny fly stitch birds in, just to give it so it's not that tiny space, a blank space, because I don't like a blank space. I know. So I'll do some that way, do a few. They're looking like they might be flying off at a different angle. And of course you can do one the other way around, because wings kind of do go that way, don't they? Put a few more in. Oh, these things are getting in the way. again, if you don't know how to do a fly stitch, I have got a little video in the shorts. It just shows you how to go in and out. These are detached fly stitch, so. But you sort of come up and then back down, making a stitch, and then what you want to do is come back up into like a triangle. Make sure your thread's behind your needle. Okay, so you've got that V, and then detached fly stitch, you just go back down, catch that stitch down. I might just put one more up here. That's actually made it come alive and look like fields. Isn't it strange when you just put one little thing in, rather than it just looking like a load of fabric with stitches on? It's suddenly beginning to look like a landscape, isn't it? With just that added. Just goes to show you. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's do some I had some thread, not in that one, in here. I'm just going to use this because I don't think you'll see it, what I want. And I'm going to put some I'm going to put a bit down here of a hedge row, and where was that fuzzy one that I liked? Was that in here? No. Oh, was it the brown? Yeah. Earthy tones. I think this has got to be one of my favourite. Yarn Hanks, this earth toned one. And I will say they don't always, because they're like a potluck kind of thing, they don't always look that good. I'm just going to use that bit of thread to catch that down. I was actually looking what, yeah, I'm just going to do that. Yeah, they don't have, because they're sort of random, they don't all have the same yarn in them. But sometimes, particularly this earthy toned one, it seems to have a lot of the fuzzy ones in that I like. I know this is a lighter thread, but I've sort of gone for that, so it's got like, looks a little bit like a fence post in flat perspective. And that is what I'm looking for, that kind of look. I don't try to hide my stitches, and never do. No, I say I never do. Obviously I don't on this kind of thing, it depends what I'm stitching, of course. Hem stitching, yeah. But I think I could get away with it these days, of having a big stitches along the bottom of a hem. I think you'd definitely get away with that. Whereas when I was taught, you know, everything's got to be perfect, pristine, little tiny stitches hiding them. Oh, look at that, that's great. It's starting to take on some shape now. Starting to look like the landscape in my head. I was going to put a tree in, but I think I'm going to omit the tree. Just was going to do a bit of a tree there, but I'm not. And I've got, I saw that. That's it. Oh. Because I just don't want to, I'm just going to tuck that under there because I'm lazy and I don't want to tuck it down. Reggie's gone upstairs. I bet he's on the bed. And I can remember getting him, fetching him as a puppy, and my words were, he's not allowed on the furniture, he's not allowed upstairs, not allowed on the bed. He does all those things. He makes me laugh. He sits in Harvey's van. He's got his own seat in the front with his seatbelt on. You'd think he was the king of the world. I think if he could drive, he'd be like, beep beep, get out of the way. Right, let's just carry on down there to that one. Just snip you off. I think I need a scissor sharpening moment. I feel like my scissors are all going a bit. Just tuck that one down. So I might have to have a gather up and take them all to the lovely man at Ernest Wright. And if I do go, by the way, I'll take a little video of the place because it's very nice. Well, very interesting. Right, I feel like that might be it for there. I'm just going to put a bit of foreground interest in. I'm going to use this. I think I'm going to come across a bit more. Yeah, Sari silk, another fave. And when you see it, you have to get it because you don't always come across it. And I'm going to go in with my favourite lime acid green and do some pistol stitches and some little straight stitches. I'm just going to get that out of the way a minute. Pin gone, needle gone. Some straight stitches and some pistol stitches. Oh, I've come unthreaded. Now which end's which? That one. Yeah, because it's not something that haberdashers have, is Sari silk. They don't usually have it to, you know, on the shelf. So it's either an online purchase or something that I'll get from a show. Just make your stitches anyway you like. I'm going to put pistol stitch in. Just makes them look like a bit of a grassy kind of thing going on. I don't know why that feels really awkward to go through that bit of. It's probably got a little bit of a slubby bit. Sometimes they do, like a knot in the fabric. You know, where the fabric sort of been the thread's been joined together whilst weaving. Where am I going with that? I don't think you're going to see much of the stitches on here, so just stitch it down a little bit. Ooh. I feel like it needs something here in the foreground, but I don't know. Maybe. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just sort of thinking, because that's quite a space. Oh, the needle's come threaded again. I wonder. I think because I'm so upside down with things, not got things to hand that I would normally have, and maybe use like a button or something just to give it a bit of something. Maybe not. I'm just having a quick look. What's the hand? Got all sorts of things going on. There. Don't know. What have we got behind us? Not a lot. Oh, let's have a quick look in that. Let's have a quick look in the jar of rings. What have we got? And what? I don't know what that would be really. Why I would put that in? What possible? You know when you know there's something missing, but you're not quite sure what? And am I just using that because You see, if I'd got smaller ones of those, another couple of those, they could look a bit like, if they were, let me just say, actually they could look a little bit like I'm going to get there in the end, my brain to go in. They could look a little bit like sunflowers, that's what I was trying to come to. Not that one's way too big. You're not. And I know they'd be out of proportion. But will it matter? Just feel like that. That knot. It's a bit of thread and it's doing me head in. Right, do you know what? I'm going with it. Doo-doo-doo. Is there anything else? I'm going with that. Or am I? What does that look like? What do you think, guys? What do you think? I don't think so. It's not singing to me. Let me put you on pause and go and have a little scavenger hunt, see what I might come up with. Right, I'm back and I've had a little bit of a hunt round and I've come up with a couple of these. I thought that will give you interest in there. And also, I like these two cogs because it sort of gives a suggestion of a tractor. And these would be, if I stitch those down and possibly do a little line in there, that might look like a power lines. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get some thread on a needle somewhere. Just looking to see if I've got anything fine. No, so I'll add a bit. What shall we add? Just add a little bit of green. Bit of green. Just felt like it was missing something. You guys might not agree, but you know, I just could see that it wasn't quite how I wanted it. These are like some steampunky type thing. Goodness knows where I've had these from. I get things given to me all the time, and little things like this crop up in them. But I love them because they add texture, and I do add them to one or two things. I shall be sad when I've run out of them. I haven't got many left. But that said, I could probably get some more somewhere. Gosh, I wonder how long this video is. I think the last one was an epic one. I do get hung up on that, don't I? I need to stop. I need to stop worrying about that. Ooh. Yeah, that looks a little, you know, it just sort of gives a little bit of a suggestion of a little tractor trundling down the hillside. Just going to put a couple of extra stitches in because I don't like to, as I always say, I don't like to run my stitch along the back of my work, but sometimes Okay. I've done a big loop there. It's hooked upon a knot. I often say, you could do a page and sew the page on, by the way, and not have it all in the book like I have. It's just extra bulk. Okay, that's that stitch down. Wonderful. Just give that a knot in the back and a bit of a stitch. Keeps getting hooked up around that great big knot. Oh gosh, it's totally, oh dear, oh well. Let's just give it a stitch in the back. And I will use the same colour because why not? And where's they gone? And I'll stitch one up there like that. Actually look a bit like the headstocks that I did in a previous one, I suppose, but they're not. I'm not going down that route. Couple more stitches. And I'm going to fasten that off. I was going to cheat and go up the back, but I can't. Can't be sure that I'll go in a straight line. I've got more thread on the desk now, and I had an ought, and I don't know what I've done with it. Probably behind the iPad, which is cluttering up the desk, that I don't need. Because when I FaceTime my daughter, I FaceTime her on the iPad. Just makes life so I can see what I'm doing better. Okay, so I'll put one over here somewhere, there-ish. Let's go down in a line of stitch. So I'm sort of going to the top of there. I might actually draw that in so I can know where I'm going. Do a bit of a curved one. I know they've got several lines, but I'm not going to do that. Pop that off. Tiny stitches. Got some, and I will get rid of that. Marker. I'm literally coming up a couple of thread lengths, so it looks like it's all one line. from a distance. Where did I get to there? Might not be able to do it on that one. When I have more than one thickness of thread, it's fabric, it's not easy to come up with just two pieces of thread. Right, I'm going to pop you on. There we go. And I will do a little few stitch down that back because you won't see where I'm going. You won't see it. That's better. Sort of giving it a bit of a more farmy, industrial kind of look, a more realistic look really in my world where we have power lines going along the landscape. And I don't think we see them, I think we sort of look beyond them now because they are there, aren't they? Like big solar panel farms are popping up everywhere, aren't they, as well? And wind farms, although they are mesmerising. Right. I think that looks wonderful. I'm just gonna hope you do. I know you sort of shouldn't do things for praising, you should do it for your own self really, but it's always nice when people have nice lovely comments on your work, isn't it? I'm sure you'll agree. Oh, I do like that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. How lovely is that? That actually is, I like it a lot. So I'm going to leave it at that because you know me, I could keep on adding because now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I need some more birds on that, but I don't think I do. I'm finishing, that's it. So as always, happy stitching and enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing, or your evening, and I'll see you again soon. And don't forget, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new, subscribe. Bye bye.